The second thing regarding the nature of sexual sin is the offensiveness of sexual sin. Firstly, it defiles the sinner. Matthew chapter 15 verse 20 says, "These are what defile a person, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile anyone." Romans chapter 1 verse 24 says, "Therefore God gave them up to the lusts of their hearts, to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves." 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 says, "Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside of the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body." The second thing regarding the offensiveness of sexual sin is that it defiles society. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 24 through 25 says, "Do not make yourselves unclean by any of these things, for by all these things the nations I am driving out before you have become unclean. And the land became unclean, so that I punished its iniquity, and the land vomited out its inhabitants." 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 6 says, "Your boasting is not good. Do you not know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump?" Revelation chapter 19 verse 2 says, "For his judgments are true and just, for he has judged the great prostitute who corrupted the earth with her immorality, and has avenged on her the blood of his servants." Thirdly, regarding the offensiveness of sexual sin is that it offends other people. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 7 through 8 says, "And if he rescued righteous Lot, greatly distressed by the sensual conduct of the wicked, for as the righteous man lived among them day after day, he was tormenting his righteous soul over their lawlessness, over their lawless deeds that he saw and heard. And if he rescued righteous Lot, greatly distressed by the sensual conduct of the wicked, for as that righteous man lived among them day after day, he was tormenting his righteous soul over their lawless deeds that he saw and heard." Genesis chapter 34 verse 7 says, "The sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they heard of it, and the men were indignant and very angry, because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing must not be done." 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 21 says, "I fear that when I come again, my God may humble me before you, and I may have to mourn over many of those who have sinned earlier and have not repented of the impurity, sexual immorality, and sensuality that they have practiced." A fourth thing regarding the offensiveness of sexual sin is that it offends God. 2 Samuel chapter 11 verse 27 says, "And when the mourning was over, David sent and brought her to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord." Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 26 through 27 says, "I myself will lift up their skirts over their face, and your shame will be seen. I have seen your abominations, your adulteries and neighings, your lewd whorings on the hills of the field. Woe to you, O Jerusalem! How long will it be before you are made clean?" Malachi chapter 3 verse 5 says, "Then I will draw near to you for judgment. I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, against those who swear falsely, against those who oppress the hired worker in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, against those who thrust aside the sojourner, and do not fear me, says the Lord of hosts."